Hey y'all, Wiggle here. So I'm working on, this is where I would feed cows, and it would be a mixture of hay, spent hay. They've already eaten through the hay bale, that whatever they don't want throw on the ground, and then manure, and then some mud, like just a little layer of, not really topsoil, but the dirt right there on the top. So this was just a real partial load, but my little trencher broke. Harbor Freight trencher wore through the bearing sleeve, wore through the metal arm, and it just fell right off. I had fixed it before, I had to fix it again. I ended up fixing it with a piece of pipe, welded a piece of pipe on there, but the wet pipe was too weak, it kept just shearing. So that was frustrating. First of all, I'll show you the garden, what I'm doing with that. Also having trouble getting the case loader running, the diesel. Having injector problems, I think, even though they're new. I think I have to adjust them. So the point being is that we have to move this material with the best way we have available to us, which right now was the back of that four-wheel drive Chevy. We're using this little trailer, dump trailer, which I like. This thing, it's pretty tough. Put it through the trials and tribulations already. So it does pretty well. I've loaded it down with that hay manure mix, unfinished compost. So this was an old place where I was feeding, and we have the finished product from letting that sit for several years. I had used my case to push this stuff kind of out more level. So down there at the other end of those cattle panels, that was kind of the end of the pile. You could see the fertility that we brought. So I had worked whatever topsoil, this black stuff that we had, finished compost type stuff, and we had put it in rows. It's about 30-inch rows, approximately 32-inch rows. That's what those ribbons are for, to mark my rows. Great, the battery's going dead. So anyway, we're just backing the truck in here. I'm rototilling, taking all that good dirt, putting it in a row, then we'll bring in another load of compost and rototill, on and on and on to do this. So that's what we're working on. I've ordered a piece of steel to fix my trencher, because now we're down to nothing. So I'm working on something else besides moving material. I'm not going to do all that by hand. It's way too much. And I'll show you over here the potato patch. That's pretty much finished, and we put this fence up around it. So this is like just a giant extension of the garden. So I'm going to continue with the rows here. This was going to be a dead area anyway between these two gardens, so we just ran that fence and attached two sections, and we'll just fill this in, leaving a small driveway there so I can kind of work that half and this half. And there's a little loose, we're going to put the gate right there where those two panels overlap. Just put a little passage gate. So there, you got the far end gate there, you got this gate here, and you got this gate here. That will be there later. I'm going to build it. So today, all that being said, we're waiting on machinery to help move this stuff. So, and I just rototill that little patch, and then we just rake it up. It's the easiest way. That way you're not really getting a lot of clay and all that. It's uneven. So just rototilling it and then raking it. Kind of using the shovel to move it into the places you want to go. So what I'm doing now is I kind of got this little weird transitional area, and we've been needing a compost bin. So I'm going to build a covered compost area, and also a place to put all our trash cans, because I can drive right up here. So I'm going to cut this fence. I'm going to run those wood planks, like the leftovers from the logs that you didn't want to mill into lumber. It's just like live edge lumber there. So I'm going to run them. Let me come on around here. So today, I'm going to turn this little weird triangular area that hasn't been doing anything anyway. Would turn it into a place to put our unsightly trash cans and recycling and do composting. And anybody parked over there can come over here and compost as well. This gate will be on our side, and that'll be for us. There'll be another gate here, and then we'll make this area like a picnic table and such for the off-grid bathroom, off-grid kitchen. So, and I'm gonna run barn boards. I'm gonna close this whole thing with barn boards. And actually these boards I showed you are gonna go all the way across here, and we'll have a gate. And it'll allow some privacy between these two sections. So this kind of stuff here, this is not a very nice one. It was kind of at the bottom and rotten. I think it might be maple. So it's not very good piece. But I'm gonna run like 6 feet tall here. Then I'm gonna drop it down for the compost area, and then I'm gonna run in more of it that way, and then I'll have a gate. And back here I'm gonna store firewood. I'll probably build a little roof off the post there, and just a little roof. We can just put pallets of firewood under there, and we get a lot of breeze up here. We're on a ridge. It's under this tree in the shade, so I'm not going to be doing much with it anyway. We're going to store firewood up here. So firewood on this side, fence, then a couple picnic tables over here when we clean this up. This is just a mess. We're going to turn this into a productive area, and that trash can area will probably just come right across here behind that tree. We just kind of close this little triangle off. So we'll have recycling bins, trash cans, and compost all in the same, like kitchen scrap type, eggshells and that kind of stuff, grapefruit rinds, and avocado, all that stuff. You don't want to feed the chickens and so forth. We feed a lot of our scraps directly to the chickens. And like banana peels we give to the goats and that kind of thing. So, well, I'll bring the slabs over as far as they can, attach them to what I have there, then I'll just put the catch side of the latch at the end of those, and then I'll put the gate off of this post. And these are going to be kind of my uprights here. Just these are like old oak, white oak, and old cedar boards, and I think there's one treated in there. I'll kind of use those as my uprights, and I'm going to attach them to like the T-post there. That way I can, trash cans are ugly, so it's going to just be all closed in with those slabs. I got plenty of them. And if I run out, I'll make more. And, you know, I'm drying them out to get, I'm just air drying them. And so they're working as privacy screening as they're drying out. And then I'll do what I can to maybe sell some or trade some, barter or whatever. And also I was going to investigate using those slabs to make a boardwalk. I'm going to use the very outsides where it's rough edge on one end, and then I'm going to flip it over, put the smooth side up, and then try to put them in level over my little ditches. So now we're going to have a boardwalk along this fence. Just of stuff that, you know, basically firewood. So it'll be giving me a good solid workspace. They're paid for, they're free. They'll be choking out the weeds, so it'll give us a walkway and weed control kind of at the same time. And it'll actually be rotting out and making mulch as well, or compost, I mean, as they rot. So when they rot out, I'll just replace them. So it's not a big deal. I got plenty of that kind of thing. The more boards I cut, logs I cut. So, and I was also investigating perhaps cutting like the 32-inch pieces and laying them out as a boardwalk between my aisles in the garden as well. Just because it's something I have. I'm not going to cut up long pieces, but if I have a bunch of short pieces, I cut them all the same length. I can lay them out, kind of have that boardwalk idea. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to use what I have available and just see how it works. And like, I might use like cedar pieces for the main walkway. That way they last longer. And then just use maple or cherry or oak or whatever I've got, the little short pieces to make the walkways. Just to see if it works. And it won't be making compost as fast as that other stuff, but you know, it's still giving me a walkway and weed control. By doing that, I'm going to, even if every other row is just pieces of wood, at least that's half as much weed control that I have to deal with. I just had to deal with the grow beds. So anyway, that was kind of my update for now, and I'll give you some video of this project as I progress. So anyway, thanks for watching. Wiggle out.